and is also thinking in the line towards the pathway that the PDP is still alive. If you also recall, some time ago, there were thoughts that he was going to indeed come out to also vie for the tickets to run as the candidate for the People's Democratic Party. But then we don't know. For some reason, that went quiet, that went on a low key, and all of that. But he's back again to make statements and build conversations and all of that. There are also some thoughts that should he indeed show his intention with the PDP, that we might as well have a tussle, a strong tussle come 2027. But then ADC is also looking into their own political party structure. Atiku is saying, I'm not backing down for whatever reason it is. The primary has got to be fought and fought rightly. Let the best man win. Okay, so it's not just going to be an easy task for the likes of Peter Obi. Kwankwaso, should he join? Should he join? Because it's not officially joined the ADC just yet. The Nasir El Rufai, the Rotimi Amechi, and all the host of others right there who may be thinking in line as Atiku, who never backs out. Remember that during the morning, right there during the dailies or the front page of the Nigerian newspapers, my dear friend and colleague Cassie had said, well, she loves the determination, the consistency, the persistency of Atiku. I really, really admire that too. But then, wouldn't it also become an issue of dividing votes? I mean, we saw that happen in 2023. We're going to see that happen again now in 2027. Well, your guess is as good as mine. Quite a number of things going on. But then there is one particularly that has been making the headlines, and it is the Venezuela issue. Now, if you put Venezuela on the sidelines and you put Nigeria on the sidelines, you see a lot of similarity. Venezuela now befriending Nigeria, the reality of a nation's woe. You know, before I get into this, let me also let you in on the fact that my name is Udwak Daniel. Let me paint you a scenario. And whilst painting you that scenario, our guest, who's going to add his voice in the discourse, is Comrade Gerald Olkachi. Now, he's a human rights activist, a public affairs commentator, a social analyst, and conflict resolution expert. Now, into the scenario. Imagine Nigeria is a big house. A big house with many rooms, and each room represents a different part of the country. Just like how you and I lock our doors. We lock our doors to keep our belongings safe. Nigeria needs to protect its resources and people from those who might want to take advantage, whether they are homegrown, that's whether they're Nigerians, or they're outside the shores of Nigeria. Follow me now, because we're heading somewhere. Venezuela, which is another country now, is facing a big problem. Some powerful countries are trying to take control of its oil and resources. Same thing that Nigeria has. In fact, we have more than oil and resources. We have gold, we have tin ore, we have iron ore, we have what it takes to even create an atomic or nuclear bomb. We have everything. We have no natural disasters. The only ones, or the only one that we have ever seen, is the one created by us. Then the only one that is tilted towards naturality is flooding. And that's something that we could indeed avoid. But no, we are not doing what is needful to stop flooding. And then for those people who've been swept off, communities or people who live close to the flood-prone area, who are aware, by the way, so we have an attitudinal problem too as well. But would you blame those people who live in such places? Poverty, lack of basic amenity, structures like infrastructure that has to do with housing infrastructure is unavailable. So these people decide to build shanties close to the flood areas. May not be a very good example or reason, But it is what it is. It is reality. That's the only natural disaster, yeah, flood. So, just like Venezuela, or just like Nigeria, Venezuela is now seeking, trying as much as it could, to take ownership of its resources, especially oil. Now, the Venezuela Solidarity Campaign in Nigeria, VSCN, is saying, no, that's not fair. Venezuela should be free to make its own decisions. Now, recall that Venezuela has been experiencing a severe economic crisis with hyperinflation and a significant decline in the value of its currency, that's the bolivar. The country's president silencing dissent voices, refusing to step down despite international condemnation. So he has also broken his, some sort of law. Wants to be the lifetime president. I mean, after the last person, this should be about 13 years, if I'm not mistaken now, or more. Now, the bolivar, which is a currency, has lost its value against the dollar. Now, I made a research and I discovered one USD, one United States dollar, is equivalent to approximately 36 million Venezuelan bolivars. I mean, their inflation has gone 1 million%. 1 million over 100. That's where the inflation has gone. To the point that its citizens are fleeing the country. If you also now look at $1 to Nigerian currency, that's like 1,500 naira, right? 1,005 to $1 approximately, yeah. Then one Nigerian naira is equivalent to about 24,000 bolivar. Are you getting that? So the country, first of all, is messed up because the political terrain or the political leaders right there messed it up. They failed to seek a direction for the country. Probably they've also been so indebted to many other countries. These powerful countries, one way or the other. They've sold out to them. The U.S., however, on the sidelines, has been accused of trying to take control of Venezuelans' oil, claiming that Venezuela stole its oil. However, experts say this is not true because Venezuela's oil belongs to Venezuela, not the U.S. So the situation escalated with the U.S. invasion and arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on charges of corruption and drug trafficking, which many see as a move to control Venezuela's oil resources. So you see how this pans out now. So Venezuela's situation is a classic example of resource imperialism, where powerful countries try to exploit weaker nations' resources for their own benefit. This phenomenon is not even new. I mean, recall that similar cases include the exploitation of Congo's cobalt, remember, Angola's oil, Nigeria's oil during the colonial era. Oh yes, we were also exploited, if not still exploited. We see Chinese everywhere. Right, taking over big things. Our own local industries, contractors are not being paid. I've not seen any foreign or international contractor come on the street, hold placards and say, I've not been paid yet. No. If not for the intervention of Mr. President, we still had seen our local contractors still on the roadways holding placards and saying, please, we've done the contract, pay us. Now, many have said that the current situation in Venezuela is serving as a warning to Nigeria, which is also rich in oil. Which is also rich in natural resources. So the story is unfolding already. And the big question is, Will Nigeria take charge of its resources this time? Will the government take charge of its resources this time? Would we indeed stand by the sovereignty that we are very quick to invoking? Not because we want to invoke for invoking's sake, but because it is international law. Comrade, good morning to you and welcome to the Prog Show this morning.
Yes, a very good morning to you and to beautiful people and compliments of the season.
All right, compliments of the season, Comrade. Comrade, it is not new, the conversation that's going on with Venezuela. And if we were to put Nigeria and Venezuela side by side, juxtaposing both countries, we would see similarity. Some have projected that should the leadership of our country not take caution from what happened in Venezuela, that we might indeed fall into the same fate. Open this up for us. Help us understand what exactly is going on.
You see, yes, if you talk about leadership of our country not taking caution with regards to what is happening in Venezuela, I must say that they're already taking cautions. You recall that after the arrest of President Nicolas Maduro, by the imperialists of U.S. government, in the guise of fight against narcotic or drugs-related crimes and arms smuggling, amidst sanctions they gave to Venezuela. You ask yourself, it becomes half a dozen. Already Nigeria has been placed in CPC, that is a country of particular concern, and the Trump administration have already tagged all of us, including the government and the citizens, a disgrace people. So he's setting the ground for similar, interference. And I'm surprised at how people are even jubilating at that. They forgot that no foreign powers, no foreign governments can do anything out of passion without interest. You look at issue of narcotic drugs that they are accusing Maduro. They did that with Chavez, Hugo Chavez, and they didn't succeed. And I'm sure that one of the things that make them even to succeed in Nicolas Maduro is because in the Venezuela is divided in terms of support group and those in opposition, because of the last year election in that Venezuela. Just like the last time we had election in Nigeria in 2023, where acceptability of this present-day government is still a struggle. You understand? Now, last year, when we saw the ambush, the warships, surrounding Venezuela, we as coalitions of different organizations come together in support of Venezuela people, demanding that hostilities against the sovereign people of Venezuela to be, restrained. They should use diplomatic means, to engage whatever differences they are perceiving. After all, they have given them a lot of sanctions that is affecting them economically. The videos of what we did that last year was used just a few days ago, and the people thought that it was a recent thing. And we have been doing that for long, not just in Venezuela. We do for Western Sahrawi. We do a lot of any weak country or state that we perceive injustice, we push for it, because we are all humanity before you belong to any geopolitical zone or country or what have you, or ethnicity or nationality.
Right.
And you see sensational news bloggers, pushing the narrative as if it's a fresh thing. And for the sensitivity of the situation, you see Nigerian government, because they want to be on the side of caution, they don't want to, provoke or, Donald Trump and U.S. imperialists, to do similar thing in Nigeria. The DSS quickly went to the embassy to ask questions, which is against norm, against international laws, against treaties.
Went to which embassy? Which embassy, comrade?
Venezuela embassy, Bolivian embassy.
And it's against the norm?
Launch either formal complaint to the foreign affairs or thereabouts, And some of the organizers, of those movements, we are DSS them. You ask yourself, when has decent? It appears like our way of reasoning differs. And you look at comments in the social media, comments, you just shake your head, because our system, our government cannot be better than people that you follow it. It appears that they are not smelling the coffee. Because we appear in a hopeless situation that a lot of push for a better Nigeria has not been achieved, and it erodes our sense of reasoning. Know what power goes to any place out of compassion, without interest. You ask yourself, the areas they have gone before, what are the resultant effects? Now, some of the charges they are pushing against Nicolas Maduro, Kotik, and what have you. In the same United States, they legalize some of them like marijuana. Just report I read yesterday, somebody was claiming in one of the reports that Donald Trump is claiming that one of the sins of Maduro is that he's emulating his dance step. You ask yourself, how do we get to this pettiness? Was it not similar accusations they levied against Saddam Hussein of building a weapon of mass destruction?
So, comrade, you're saying that you're saying this is a plot and is a ploy to remove
it's
or to...
that we have seen over the years. Okay. You just arrested the man for narcotic, whatever drugs. You want to try him in your own country. He came to another sovereign nation and picked somebody, a leader with immunity, to try your own country. At the same time, you are declaring that you are going to take control of their oil.
That they stole it from him. They stole the U.S. oil.
It's not U.S. So what is the relationship between trying somebody that you claim that commit offense in your land, or commit offense from his own land to your land, and at the same time you're talking about bringing your national companies, big companies, to come and mine that currently now they are mining, I think 900,000 barrel per this thing. I think 900,000 barrel per day. You know, whether they are the largest oil deposit in the world, over 20% of oil in the world. You know, both Saudi and the US oil put together is not up to what is in Venezuela. That you are targeting to getting up to 2-3 million in the next few months. You know what kind of talk is that? It simply shows you, goes to tell you the intentions, and people are not seeing it. You understand? These people, they don't care about you.
Comrade.
Forget this narrative of Christian genocide to deceive the gullible.
Comrade.
They don't care.
Comrade.
It's their interest they push.
Comrade, why are we so quick, why are we quick at looking into the sins of the U.S. and forgetting the bad leadership of Venezuela political class? I mean, would you still say that the U.S. is responsible for the hardship, the economic woes, the corruption, and all whatnot that's been going on in Venezuela by Venezuelans?
You see, just like Venezuela, just like Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know, they have symbolic or diplomatic symbolism that you can say it appears like resources that God deposited is a cost. Both countries suffer from resource costs, over-reliance on crude oil export, weak diversification, and vulnerability to price shocks. Venezuela is facing a lot of sanctions from time immemorial. And if you accuse Venezuela of corruption, there's no country on earth that is not facing one corruption or the other. It depends on how you project it.
So if I accuse Venezuela of infrastructural underdevelopment, we would still blame the big countries for forcing them not to develop their country?
For example, at this U-type period, Anthony Joshua had accidents along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
Right.
And he took a UK citizen journalist to come to Nigeria to do a test on our road and confirm that that road is up to UK standard, is international standard, is a quality road. Because they were trying to, look for ways to,
pin it on the government or something.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if a foreigner did not come to our country to come and undergo such investigation, to report to us, say, okay, we ourselves, say, okay, our role is up to standard. Because of antecedents of the past, many will not believe it.
Okay.
You get it?
I get it.
So, whatever that you can point finger at in Nigeria, look deeply. You will see the remaining fingers are pointing at whoever that is pointing the fingers. There's no country on earth that doesn't have its own challenges or woes. It depends on the one we push to the public. And that is why we as activists have been pushing that we have, people-oriented policies and not the one that push hardship to the people. In fact, in one of our interventions, people started asking questions. We have not finished tackling issues internally and we are doing intervention for people of Venezuela. And I ask, those people that sit in the comfort of their homes and begin to criticize every move, where we are there when we are doing a lot of things and we continue to do, and we will do till the kingdom come. Throughout last year, we carried out series of intervention, petition, conferences, press releases, protests for the betterment of this country. We were tear gassed. Our comrades were, charged with treason for carrying out end bad governance protests. We were consistent in pushing until those charges were dropped last month.
Only last month?
Only last month, December 10th. We pushed from January to December consistently. We use different platforms, both in media, physically, push different, make effort, sacrifice. But people will be in their comfort of their zone, type anything. If you call them for protest, you will not see them. If you call them for demonstration, you will not see them. If you call them for because they have Android, they have data. Every move you make, they will criticize. You ask yourself, even when Nigeria, we are doing intervention, just like US are doing today, whether in Sudan, Congo, Sierra Leone, Liberia, mention it. Are we not having internal issues? When we are doing intervention for the apartheid people of the apartheid that is taking place in South Africa, are we not having governance issues? US that are doing all these interventions, are they not having internal issues? Is it that we don't understand how these things work? So, desperation born from state failure is what is pushing Nigerians. They've trapped in a system that does not respond to citizens' suffering. They believe that elections are widely perceived as flawed and manipulated, especially by the electoral empire.
Right.
A situation where chairman of INEC will tell you, if you are not happy, go to court. Not minding the choice of words or use of words. They'll begin to tell a technical glitch in an election in a server that is receiving National Assembly votes at the same time, the same minute. But when it comes to president, they tell you they have technical glitch. In a cost that is slow, expensive, and often seen as compromise.
So, comrade, let me ask you, do you think Nigerian politicians have the courage to stand up to foreign powers and protect the country's interests?
I don't think it's the leadership that will protect.
Who should protect then?
It's the Nigerian people.
The people, the same people
Yes.
whom you said do not even have a say.
You see, in recent times, there's something that happened. After the comment by the President of the United States of America, we saw the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, sitting up in certain things, taking drastic measures in tackling insecurity and at the same time taking measures to improve governance. And that metamorphosed into some of the things we gave in thumbs up as the year was rolling up, winding up, that is reduction in food prices, reduction in premium, improving security, etc., etc. But that does not take away the fact that it takes external, interference or
to set the record straight,
to push. In that area, we say yes. thumbs up, but everything has its own limitation. While you are doing that, it shouldn't be, getting to the point that you want to come and stay in Nigeria and to do what? People are even excited that if you hear rumor that Trump is coming today to come and arrest our president like they did to Nicolas Maduro, that they will be very happy. You ask yourself, is it that we have gotten to the hopelessness point that we don't reason at all?
But comrade,
anywhere US government go steps in is a place that we continue to see hostilities, divisions, war, blood, frustration, more than what you can perceive.
All right. Well, let's just put it back to your thoughts. We've got time out for now. We will come back when it's time in, pay some bills. We'll be right back, comrade. And yes, when we do come back, you also tell me what you really think. I mean, the comrade has already given his perspective view on the matter. I've also tried to give an introduction background to shape things up and all of that. What do you think, is going on in view of this? How can we avert what is going on in Venezuela from happening here? And do you also think that the move by the U.S., which of course many are seeing as an impunity, an abuse of power, is the right way to get things done? Should you, even if you discovered that there was a mismanagement, even if you feel wronged and all of that, you boycott all of the international bodies, you boycott the international laws, and you do what you feel is the right thing for you, even take or steal the president of a sovereign country, whether he was enforced, whether he was pushed there, whether he enthroned himself, regardless of whatever it is still a sovereign country. And you steal him from his country, take him to your country, and you're trying to try him. And he was there saying, with all of these things that you've put leveled against me, I am still president. Well, we'll come back after this timeout.
Competitions? They don't exist. With Eagles, you soar.
Any money where I get, I deflect, I devote.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
There's so much more to enjoy when you fly in Emirates Economy. More legroom, delicious regionally inspired meals, complimentary free-flowing drinks, and the latest movies, TV shows, music, and live sport. Some of the best entertainment in the skies. And our family services make your journey simple and fun. Plan your next trip and start the holiday early in Emirates Economy. Fly Emirates, fly better.
This one na pampa, this one na helele. It never happened before. Magic season promo from Team Pumpy Concepts. Develop our weekend.
Now so, you ask us for Team Pumpy Concept, how we go do it? It could be like magic. Only change us with some on our 60% discount on all our products. We call them Magic Season promo. Now you go take the lion's share. Hey, people don't rush up where our land where they come sana, Gusape, Akugude, plus include your Chara land where we get for you. Now small time now, this Obundia wolf go finish. We don't kickstart time from Wednesday, December 10. Go reach January 7, 2026 New Year. No dollar 7 for this festive season. This na magical way to wrap up the year. Come we office way day number 12 from Morofia Street. We sit to Abuja. Tell you why now 090-5454-5468 080-5288-8007 or 090-7917-7774. T Pumpy Concepts, developer that cares.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish, my dear.
Let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAS, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out growth of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by Mikas and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. It is still Eagles Morning Rises Breakfast Show, and this is Eagles Outlook, where we mirror into politics and current affairs. I still remain Udwak Daniel. Our guest, Comrade Gerald Okachi, has been on ground to look into the topical issue that borders around Venezuela and has some similarity with the Nigerian nation. Venezuela befriending Nigeria now, the reality of a nation's war and all of that. I mean, I'd like you to also add your voice in the discourse. Let's know your thoughts on this. And because there are some questions that really are mind-boggling. One of such would be, what will happen to Nigeria if the country becomes a battleground to foreign powers? And somebody told me just last week and said, hey, we're already a battleground for foreign powers and all of that. That what we do next is what will determine how far we will go. Hello, good morning. Hello? Right, that's a miss though. We should take this call, trying to get through with Comrade, but we'll take this call now. Hello, good morning.
Yudi, good morning.
Good morning to you, please. My brother, welcome.
My name is Triple D.
Triple D, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from right from Waru right now.
All right, talk to us, Triple.
Hey, Yudi, God bless you. You asked a very sensitive question.
Right.
God bless you. Yudi, nobody is happy about what Donald Trump is doing. But Yudi, you asked him a question. Are you as responsible for our kind of leadership and corruption we have? Yudi, let me tell you, there are some local government in Nigeria we don't have light. We don't have access to good road. We don't have access to water. Yudi, for the whole Nigeria that we are today, we don't have peace. We are using our head and nose to pay school fees, to pay house rent, to pay everything in this country, Yudi. And Yudi, you are working, some of us are collecting 50,000 naira. Sweating under the sun, collecting 50,000 naira in an oil resources nation. You finish suffering like this, you go home, you don't have peace. Yudi, what next do you think we can think of in life? I'm not against anybody, but you balance it. The killing has been going. Get my number. Let me tell you how my in-law has been killed. Like God. I saw him not so because he died. Till today, they are still killing. What is their problem? What is the Nigerian problem leader that they cannot stop it, Yudi? What? Okay, now, people that are condemning, you are condemning, United Kingdom, Germany, all these people are condemning China. Has it ever come to the help of Nigeria that the right thing should be done? In Africa, how many of white men are coming to Africa with their children for school? How many of them are coming to give birth in Nigeria? The same people will come to radio station and defend what is not right. They will still go back for holiday in UK, in the same state again. Let's make Nigeria good. Let's have peace. Even if we cannot benefit from the resources, let's have peace. Let's live with our eyes closed.
All right.
God bless you, and Nigeria will get it right. Good morning.
Right. All right. Thank you, Triple D, right there, giving his thoughts. Who is really responsible for the Nigerian wars now? I mean, Venezuela has been given sanctions upon sanctions upon sanctions that has really deflated the economy's performance and everything. What is it that has been sanctioned in Nigeria that has deflated our economy this bad, that has brought us to this point where we are? Even though we must also commend the Tinubu administration. I mean, I must say, Mr. President, as of last year, towards the ending of last year, Mr. President performed remarkably. Remarkably so. Remarkably. Food prices, I think it's for the first time in a long time, we didn't have queues for petrol. I can't remember what year it was that we never had queues. But we didn't have it last year. Nobody. No, we didn't have it last year. And then we saw interventions when it comes to insecurity. But would that momentum continue without us having some divisive, unscrupulous leadership, politicians, as well as citizenry who are aiding and abetting the killings, aiding and abetting the corruption, aiding and abetting the destruction of existing infrastructure, aiding and abetting the lack of infrastructure, lack of education, good health care, and all of this, which are things that we need, we have, we deserve, is enshrined in the Constitution right there. All right, we'll go take this one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, my brother. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Greet your guest special.
Yeah.
And I want to wish him Happy New Year.
Turkenby.
My name is Hundu Turkenby.
Right. Awesome.
Yes, I want to say that the whole world must come together to condemn what happened. I think the president of Venezuela appeared in court and he told the judge that he was kidnapped. And I think I am on the same page with him. He is called kidnapping. For a country, just like your guest has said, that have a sovereignty. No matter what, international laws must be respected by following through the right channel, by passing through the right agreement to make sure that the president, if he steps down one day, if he finishes his tenure one day, he can be tried. One thing I don't understand about the U.S. is the fact that they are also part of the countries that brought together the International Court of and the International Criminal Court of Justice. You can see that no former U.S. president has been tried in that International Criminal Court of Justice. It has been our people here, in Africa, like Charles Taylor, and the rest. I want to see a situation whereby, former president like George W. Bush, who have committed a lot of war crime, who have gone to other countries to cause war and committed war crime, have been tried too. And one thing I want to ask our guests is that countries like China, and Russia, they are against this. Is there anything that they can do to force Donald Trump to reverse that decision, to bring back the president? Because the woman that was his vice is still insisting that Nicolas Maduro is still the president. So is there anything the Chinese and the Russian president can do, them who are world powers, to make sure that Donald Trump is forced to revise this? Thank you.
Right. Appreciate Turkenby right there. Is there anything that the likes of China, Russia, can do, to ensure that these things are put right? And he says, I have never seen any case where any U.S. president has come under the knife when it comes to international law, but it has always been the African continent leaders and all of that. Hello, good morning. Welcome aboard, comrade.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Go ahead, comrade. Nigerians, family members have been talking. They've been speaking. I don't know, were you able to perceive or hear some of the thoughts?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
But
well, Triple D was about the fact that, look, we are still the same one people who are doing what, destroying ourselves. For he took himself, for example, 50,000 naira in this economy, and then you're expected to do a lot as a man. The moment you fail, you are being charged. The moment you speak out, you are being pushed down. Is that also a U.S. intervention? Is it a U.S. problem? Right? And then Turkenby is called in saying that now he condemns exactly what's going on, what the U.S. did. But then again, the U.S. has not adhered to international laws. Is there anything that the likes of China and Russia can do? Because the UK has seemingly been silent to ensure the U.S. is also brought to order.
you see, UD, the core truth in these circumstances that Nigerians do not want Trump. All they want is justice that works,
right?
Election that counts,
right?
Leaders who fear the law, dignity without begging foreign capitals. trust becomes a symbol of imagined leverage, not a desired ruler. And that is the reality. So whether we bring Trump, Russia, China all together to come and lead this country, without people willingness to, embark with good orientation that informs positive change about this country, nothing will happen.
So by people, by people, what do you mean? By people?
You see, as of today, what we have in Nigeria today is my thief is better than your thief.
Oh.
My looter is better than your looter. It becomes a kind of turn-by-turn thing. If you finish looting, I will come and loot. Take, for example, period to 2023 general election, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in one of his campaigns, say he will continue from where late President Muhammad Buhari stops. And he came on board. Some of his appointments appear very nepotistic. He looks at his tribesmen to give them more appointments, especially those from Lagos, than other regions. And why people complain, they make reference to the previous government, disregarding the federal character principle. So the solution is not Washington or Trump. It is rebuilding credible electoral systems, strengthening independent courts, protecting protests and civic space, sustain grassroots pressure. Then international solidarity without surrendering sovereignty is not there. So when citizens, begin to express frustration, especially in the call for foreign powers, it is not betrayal, it is a warning sign. A nation that listens to its people leaves no room for outsiders to speak for them.
Right.
And that is what we expect this government to do. You understand? And that is why it appears like, if you look at all sides of the argument, you see that people have right in what they are saying. Even one of our family callers talking about 50 or 60, there are people that are still collecting even 20,000, less than 20,000 as a salary. That is the fact, that's the reality. A nation, a country like ours, where we make laws, we violate the laws become for the poor. If we say we have minimum wage and we peg it at 70,000 naira, anybody, whether private or government, that pays anything less should be considered, a violation to that minimum wage standard. It shouldn't be what is good for good is not good for Uganda. No. It shouldn't be that we have an electoral act. Okay, take for example, in 2023 general election, the electoral umpire INEC read out a lot of manuals that they want to embark on, make consistent media campaign that they will hit to what they have claimed, what they have proclaimed. They will ensure that they carried out. At the end of the day, they failed. And people went to court and said, okay, look at also dates. They came to social media and said they will maintain what they say. They did it. At the end of the day, the court said that they have right to shift the goalposts when the match is on. So things like this is one of the things that weaken the society and makes people look hopeless. But that is not the solution. If our government of the day can sit up, and begin to do pro-masses policies, begin to, honor those promises they made in form of campaign promises, they will begin to win the masses. It shouldn't be the way you could ask people to join you. All the governors are almost going on the one side, and they think that is where the reality.com will come on the election day. Maybe a form of normal changing of figures, mutilating of figures, or writing results. People at a point will form resistance. You know why jungle justice appears to be on the rise? Because people are losing faith in the system, in the justice system. They believe if we take this person to police, if you take this person to police or take to the court will not do justice. They decide to finish everything. So if we continue the line we are going, we'll get to that point. So That's the reason why some of us have been pushing that we must have state police. Thank God for the some of the reforms the government is doing. Let us, unbundle some of the things that they put in constitution that does not allow progress from other regions. If every region or state can generate its own power and distribute it without necessarily pushing it to national grid, it will make sense. If every state can generate its police security system that knows the environment very well, it will make sense. If every state can harness its own resource, mine it, it will make sense. And not the one that we are having today. You mine and in the south, in the north, you behave as if you are your eyes. You are not seeing what is happening with illegal minings here and there that is fueling insecurity. It shouldn't be so. If we, restructure and every state are to mine what they have, let us see how states that are infested with bandits and the criminals and terrorists will not flush them out to get resources for the people. If we require to get machineries or collaborate with others to flush them out, it will work. But because they are looking to, depending in Abuja, looking up to Abuja, for Abuja to do intervention, they continue to obstruct whatever they are doing. That is why you see sabotage in every genuine effort to move this country forward. So the solution is not in bringing those foreigners to come and help us. You ask yourself, those people on the streets, how have we fed? How have we helped ourselves? Those teachers in the school, those laborers in the sites, how have we not tried to outsmart one another in one situation or opportunity we have? That is a pure reflection of who we are. By the time we start to do upright things, believe in the justice system, and knowing that whatever you do to, if they do it to you, if it's acceptable, then do it. This will begin to move right. Not because today is not favoring me, you let's pull down the house. Tomorrow, if it favors you, you begin to bring grammars to defend the evil. That is the reality we are facing today. A situation where you see some of the spokespersons of government today, or some of those guys that we have been nominated for one ambassadorial post, we say all manner of things in the past. But because they have called them into the table, suddenly they change. So, way forward is
right.
Government of the day must be seen not to interfere in civic space, especially in opposition. They must be seen not to interfere with judiciary. They must be seen not to interfere with electoral umpire. Let us have truly independent electoral umpire, judiciary, of course, for those at the National Assembly, that if we will get there, as long as Senator Babi is still the chairman and the Senate president. Because it appears like, by the way, why are we worried? Because if you look at the judicial system, the situation where the last Senate president did not participate in the primaries of the Senate in his constituency or district in the party, he participated in the presidential primaries. He was given tickets. The immediate past Senate president, Ahmed Lawan or thereabouts, did not participate. He went for presidential primaries. He was given tickets.
Comrade, let's just quickly take these comments. You've spoken, quite a number. You've spoken a lot. You've mentioned the matter, the concerns, way forward, and all of that. But let's just see this one. Lion Boy from Lokogoma says, "Well, God bless your guest. Good morning. For his perspective, just at work." Okay, thank you, Lion Boy. Now I see Joseph from Jahi. Abalusia Ngene from Lokogoma says, "What is happening in Venezuela today is disturbingly similar to what we are experiencing in Nigeria. How can a country so richly endowed with mineral resources, crude oil in particular, still leave its masses impoverished, while people have gained little or nothing from these resources? Even more troubling is the fact that some unpatriotic citizens continue to defend corrupt leaders, not based on performance or integrity, but on religion and tribal sentiment. Sometimes one is forced to ask, would it not be better if crude oil dried up completely so we could finally learn how to survive without it, or even external help, rather than continuing this painful cycle of suffering while Let's stay till the absence of fuel queues during Christmas was due to the Dangote refinery, not Tinubu. Tinubu has done nothing to deserve that credit. UD, please stop attributing achievements to someone who has not earned them. The last election has deeply divided Nigerians, and this division has weakened us as a people in such a fractured society. It would be far easier for an external power to manipulate Nigeria as Trump did in Venezuela. Well, oh no, as much as I try to understand with you, but Dangote happened under whose administration? It is still President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Whether you want it or not, the president, I still give it to him. Trust me. If he wanted to frustrate Dangote, he would have done it too still. Okay, so let's go to Joseph from Jahi now. Good morning, he says. In a scenario that surrounds Venezuela and Trump, I believe completely every classroom has their prefect, and every school must have senior school prefect, and every school have principal. I think the world also needs principals like US. Even in a termite house, there is overall kings. My question is, what was the action of United Nations on Christian and Muslim being killed worldwide? The entire world need a one-man government or a one-country government to act fast. If UN failed to act, I support this US President Donald Trump to enter any country's leader and capture them so far as it is for the good of humanity, Joseph says. Well, comrade, I don't know, maybe just one slingshot of a sentence if you can. You've already given us the way forward. Maybe quick reactions to this very messages now.
This government must, as a matter of urgency and respect to rule of law and international laws, release President Nicolas Maduro and the wife. You know, they must release him. You can't pick the president of a sovereign nation to try him in your country. At the same time, you are threatening the vice. At the same time, you are talking about taking the mineral resources and what have you. And for us, it's an opportunity for us. It's a clarion wake-up for the government of the day to know that if you are good for yourself. If you are bad for yourself. Look at the reactions of the Venezuelan people. Some are protesting against what happened. Some are jubilating. It doesn't tell good. If we can come together and then begin to see the benefit of the resources we have in this country, begin to enjoy it as we have suffered under this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the time he entered and claimed that no reversal to fuel subsidy removal. This year they have bring tax reform. They claim now that the tax reforms is they are taking from the rich, giving to the poor, which myself I doubt, because that same language they use when they remove subsidy, that is the rich that are benefiting from the subsidy. At the end of the day, the poor suffer even more. Let us begin to do things that will benefit the poor, the Nigerian people that have suffered for long, so that they will give solidarity to government. As it stands today, the government of the day is not having acceptability. The acceptability that is enjoying is the elite's acceptability, the ruling class acceptability. Let's begin to do things that will bring people closer and united and not divide us. You begin to use religion, ethnicity, you hit in the bush and come out and ask who is eating. If we can stop doing a lot of politics that the government wants transparency and accountability, a lot of things will be good.
Right. Appreciate that one from you, Comrade Gerald Okachi, for adding your voice in the discourse this morning. Many thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Well, this is where we call it a close. Thank you, too, for being a part of this one. And we hope that we don't see what happened in Venezuela in Nigeria. And we cannot just say we hope. We hope that the leaders still will take caution and do the needful, the necessary things. And then stop being a puppet. I mean, because many times we've fallen short of IMF, World Bank, whatever they say is what we do. What happens to having our economists and the accountants and all the big names within the fabrics of the ivory tower? Come sit down, chart a way forward, something that's feasible, something that's workable. Put the right people in the right places. Let them do the needful and shun the greed and politicizing. All of y'all, most of you are into just get this country better. Well, can't say further. Thank you still for being a part of this one. Business news coming right up in a short bit.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.